This is the flat ground we found. It has big cracks. It's like we could easily drive to some place that's nice, but I don't want to. I want to skate the park and try to warm my knee up. So basically, I've been having some knee troubles. I don't know what's going on with it. It feels like almost like sometimes something is getting stuck in it, which I know is a sign of something very not good. So, but also I haven't been on my board, so maybe it's just like breaking in again. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, okay. So heel flips. Let's start off with just like the basics on how to do a heel flip before we get into how to do them better, higher, tweaky, consistent, because I'd like to cover the whole sphere of heel flips. But basically, let's say you don't even know how to kick flip. Here's the idea. As you're snapping your tail, you wait for this to happen, and once you feel this pop, your foot should be already sliding up. And you don't want to, most common mistake is people think it's this. Don't ever do that. This right here, if you're wearing this part of your shoe out right here from heel flips, you're doing heel flips wrong. Heel flips are not slide up donkey kick. You can do them like that, but they will almost always be mob, and they kind of will want to go backside a little bit, but not like a cool Mean Williams backside. They kind of like do like a downward donkey backside. What you want to do is you use the side of your foot exactly like a kick flip, but off the other side of your shoe. So it's this, and just like a kickflip, it's a flick. It's not like a this, it's like a that.
A drag and flick.
Yeah, drag and flick. And so if you think about it like this, a big common mistake, if you're trying heel flips and they're flipping too slow, and your issue is like, yeah, I can kickflip. When I try to heel flip, I keep landing on the board upside down. Here's my theory of why that happens. When you do a kickflip, you have all of this with like pressure to get a good flick. With heel flip, this doesn't really stick out that far on that side of your foot. So it's like, I think people tend to flick off too early because they're trying to use like almost the same angle. Like I'm going to get to here and then kind of cut that angle out. Whereas like kick flips, I pretty much start dragging my foot to the side when I get to the bolts. If you do the same thing with heel flip, you're going to get out too early because this is just shorter. So what I like to do is aim more for not the middle of the nose, but I kind of go for right here. So if I aim for right here, I'm probably going to end up somewhere around right here.
Drag off the nose.
Drag off the nose. Make sure that you're flicking off the nose, not off the side of the board. This is too soon. This is good. If you're flicking over here, enjoy a popsicle. or a dolphin heel, because flicking over there is kind of crazy. You can actually make flicking over there work, but you need to have a good flick and not just like a pressury one. So first heel flip, there's no way it's going to be good. In fact, I probably won't land it, but I'm going to do like a calm one. It's not going to be nothing fancy. Hopefully we land it. So yeah, we did. We did it. That's the end of the video, dude. Congratulations to me. So another big mistake that I see people do is they kind of like will be very much in the back seat, and if you stay back here and you try to do a heel flip,
it's gonna shoot away from you.
Every time it does this shit. Yeah. And that's like a super common bail. Heel flip, almost more so than kick flip, you want to be over the front.
Over the front, you reckon?
Yeah, when I think of tweaking well, this is more for like a tweaky heel flip, but when I think for any flip trick, you want to get from the back seat to the front seat, and then when you're here, that's when you decide which way you're going to flip.
Okay.
Because if I do my flip trick and I'm in the back seat, at best it's going to be mob. Or primo,
Jesus.
Which is my technique for heel flip primos. Like it doesn't want to do that. Like pretty much all tricks are really like that.
It's like a leap.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're having a problem with mob flip tricks, I always tell people pretend you're doing it to nose manual, and usually just that mentalness will fix your body weight from the back seat to the front seat. All tricks start off in the back seat, but you got to hop to the front seat.
Yeah.
So if you're trying heel flips and the board's flipping in front of you, you're not jumping forward enough. Like your bail should probably look like this.
Yeah.
I should be like landing a little bit in front of the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have that problem with kickflips. I always land in front of the board. I don't know why. Yeah. Sucks.
You have good kickflips though.
When they're warm, when they're cold, I can't kickflip.
I think it's probably because you're putting your feet in the right spot and you're putting your body weight in the right spot. Just when you mess up a kickflip, that's where you end up.
Yeah.
So I think that, like I said, that's where your bail should be with your tricks.
In front.
Yeah, if you're like a lot of people with 360 flips, the board's landing way in front of them. I always tell people start over. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, they're kicking it out.
Flips, it shouldn't be out there. It should be right under you. Or at the very least, your first tray flip usually goes this way.
Yeah, you kind of hop to the side.
Yeah. If you're going that way, you're not even. You're doing the wrong flick. You should be scooping towards yourself. That's a different trick tip. Anyways, another little hack for heel flips is your back foot. Okay, the more to this side you're gonna go, the more that when you press down, the board's going to start off more at this angle, and that's that much more concave to heel flip off of. So you'll notice when people do like double heels and stuff like that, they're way the hell over here.
Yeah.
Varial heels, they're way over here. Straight heel flips, people tend to go a little bit more towards the middle, and I think I'm kind of like normal footed for my heel flips. But if I'm having like a miss poppy thing, especially if I'm trying to go up something where I need to flip it faster, I'll shuffle more over here. Some people might heel flip over here. Those people are what we call psychopaths.
I feel like when you heel flip over there, the board kind of
it's harder to flip through. It works. If this is where it's comfortable for you and this works for you, I'm not saying you should change it, but I will say that there's easier places to put your back foot. You can definitely still heel flip with your foot over there. I don't know if I've ever tried. That felt insane.
It kind of turns. Goes toe side.
If the board's already here, it's just that much harder to flick. I mean, maybe if I did that and flick straight off the nose, like really try to kick straight forward.
Oh, that's let's not do that.
Well, maybe we should do that. Okay, so there's those little tips. The biggest tip that I found for getting control over my heel flip. So like, let's say you can heel flip, you can't really do them down stuff. They're very, very inconsistent. And I use this technique for a lot of tricks, is looking for the lazy spot where heel flips are. And the lazy spot for most of all of the straight 8 actually, is quick flicks that happen a little early. And then from there, you can branch off adding pop and taking pop. I think it's easier to, if you master the quick flick low one, then it's easier to slow it down than to do the vice versa. If you start off trying to just roast massive heel flips, you need that massive height to get the right flick. But if you start off with the small, quick ones, like this is probably not going to work, but just like lazy. That wasn't even that quick of a flick, but it was lazy.
Jeez, man.
Come on. Just like put him in the trash.
Wildlife warrior.
I take no
He hopped off.
He was just like, this isn't Jessup. Okay, here we go. Just like, I don't know. I think there's a lot to the low flip tricks, personally.
Yep, that one wasn't particularly low. That was like a nice mid-size heel.
Was it?
Yeah.
I was trying to do it low. It felt low. Like, I feel like that's a pretty standard low effort heel flip. And when you're getting them that quick, even if they're a little mob, it's a really good starting block. Because if you want it to tweak out, in my opinion, the easiest way to fixing the tweak out if your tricks are mob, just go more towards the center of the nose. You're probably flicking off too early. And what helps me do that, because I can think, okay, this heel flip's going here, and when I do it, I still go over here.
Yeah.
Extending my foot out and letting it wait, for some reason, if you like focus on something that would happen if you did what you did, instead of doing what you're gonna do. Does that make any sense?
No.
Okay, here we go. If I want to heel flip off the nose and I want my nose to tweak down and do a tweaky heel flip, if I think about just that, I will miss the nose a lot. But if I think that my front foot needs to end up dangling straight ahead, I can do.
Yeah.
I can think of the end point. I just can't think of how I'm going to get there. Like, it's too technical for me. It's for some weird reason. That's why, personally, I think if you're trying a trick out of a trick, I don't know if you've ever noticed this. Like, let's say you're trying backtail big spins, and you can backtail, but you're not super consistent. But once you start trying the backtail big spin, you're getting the backtail.
It just
every
works.
try.
Yeah.
It's because you're thinking about not the part that you usually struggle with.
Yeah.
You're doing something extra. Especially, like, I remember, I mean, I brought this trick up a couple times, and I've only done it once, but crooked grind, nollie flip, pop over. The only time I've ever nollie flipped out of a crooked grind was on a flat bar, and I was popping over early, and I remember I was crooked grinding like 10 feet of this rail every single try and just like flicking them, and afterwards I was like, I don't know if I've ever been able to sit on crooked grinds like that. I think I have them now. And then that try, I tried to crooked grind the rail and just locked in toe side and missed.
Oh.
So it's like having that extra something to distract you from what you're doing might be a little hack for you.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, so my hack for heel flip is letting the foot dangle a little bit. So here, I'll try to get a little parallel to you so you can see what my front foot does. But a lot of times I'll do something like this.
Yeah.
It's like, let it hang out there.
Get your foot out of the way.
Yeah, like more straightforward.
Yeah.
And it really does, because if you put your foot straight out forward, there's no other path to that besides straight off the nose. They're not high, they're not fancy, but they are doing exactly what I want them to do. And that's like, go down a little bit and stick to my back foot. That was a crazy one. This ground is so
Yeah, this
bad.
ground sucks.
Once you have that, actually, I'm gonna take my own advice, put my foot a little bit over here, since clearly they're flipping too slow. See if that makes it flip a little faster.
Oh,
Yeah, much better.
it's like twice as quick, I reckon.
Twice as quick.
Yeah, or at least 1.5.
You know what? All these, I love, like, and this happened a lot for the kickflip tutorial that I did. We're talking about it. I'm pointing out what I know, but what I don't put into practice. And like in a weird way, I'm like listening to my own tutorial. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I already knew that and I forgot about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, foot more that way makes it flick faster.
Son.
You like that one?
Son, yeah.
That one?
I feel like you caught it when it was still coming up.
These are the heel flips that like I want them to be more consistent. Like this is like my favorite kind of heel flip. It's probably not the one that I'm gonna be like focusing on teaching you, but I like this sort of lazy, stick to my front foot longer than normal, kind of extended a little bit. It's just, I don't know, it's like, they feel very structured, they're not very fancy. And if you hang your front foot out longer, even when they're shitty, they look kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like you can have like a really mob heel flip and just angle that front foot like.
That's a style though.
Something.
That's a style.
I guess. But honestly, like doing that helps me tweak them out. The heel flip ankle flick is like harder to learn than the kick flip ankle flick. Maybe I should focus on that for a second.
The flick?
The flick. Because it's like, let me do one right now and focus on what I'm doing so I can talk about it. Hold on. Okay. So it's this. I feel exactly where on the shoe it is. It's here. And it's like, it's very natural because your ankle
goes
this way. So it's very natural for you to try to go like that, but it's not that, it's that. It's like this motion right there.
Yeah.
That's what's catching, and you want it to catch, I mean, I think from here to here, you're good. This zone, look, I'm gonna Andy Anderson it and cut off my fingernail. This zone right here, I'm always just like, dude, you would be the best coke habit haver. Because his fingernails are so long, and he'll literally be like, okay, here's where the skin, and he just...
Oh, I could never.
Yeah, that was crazy for me, even that. So yeah, like, if you're in here and this is where you're catching your flick, if you're getting white marks, especially if you have new shoes,
yeah,
all over right here, you're flicking in the right spot, you're just flicking wrong if it's not working. I would also say, and this is Jocelyn advice, by the way. Jocelyn is one who told me a lot of people who like can't heel flip consistently or do them high, it's because they're using the bottom of their shoe. And I remember Ray, I think it was Ray, was trying to do not like heel flips on flat, and he was like, yeah, you're using the bottom of your shoe. And then we watched it like in slow-mo, and he was going like this, like flat foot up, kick there. That's it's
you want to drag it
there, like almost like a Ollie North that goes off this side, but you start kicking, like I feel like Ollie North, you start kicking down here. You start kicking down here for heel flip, and then that kind of naturally catches your heel, and then you just give it a little flick.
I feel like the drag is similar to an Ollie North now that you say that.
It feels very similar to an Ollie North.
Yeah.
Just the initial, like if you can't Ollie North, basically you wait till your foot gets to the nose, and then you kick down.
It off, yeah.
This, it's like you wait till your foot gets to the bolts, and that's when you start kicking down, but you turn that kick into a flick.
Oh yeah, that was a nice one.
Okay, so now we're gonna try some poppy ones. We're gonna actually try to do a decent heel flip right now. Is it gonna happen first try?
Yes.
I haven't skated in 5 days, man.
Damn.
My knee hurts, so it's probably not gonna be a good one, but.
Ooh!
I don't even know. I don't know if the public's even ready to see that one. That was, I mean, this ground's just so good.
Oh.
So for higher popped heel flips, it is the exact same technique as a higher pop kick flip. You flick late. You start your ollie, and then there's almost like a beginning to level out before the flick. Not a full, like you're not like ollie, but it's like a regular heel flip's like this. I feel like it's like higher heel flips are like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like an ollie first, then flick.
Yeah, it's like a whole slight delay. That wasn't very good, but I wish I was heel flipping over something.
Use my board if you want. If you're up for it. I know it's 8.5, so it's a big boy.
I think doing tricks over things makes it easier to maximize your whatever. But also this ground, I'm gonna like. Okay.
This ground is shitty.
Leah, let's keep talking about that. So when I don't land this heel flip, people are a little more understanding.
You're way over the top, dude.
What did you say?
You're way over the top.
You're like how you're cheering and I was doing. Man, I probably should have picked like a better heel flip day for me. These are also brand new shoes. So these are some fresh heel flip flicks.
Yeah. You could do 2 boards, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll do it. Shit. I will say another common mistake, not even common, a serious difficulty for doing good heel flips on flat ground is I think for kick flips, it's not as unnatural when you flip down to bring your back foot up higher than your front foot.
Yeah.
You want most of your flip tricks to end in this position because if your back foot's lower than your front foot, that's the maximized height that board's going to have. So to exaggerate a heel flip, you really need to be able to like tweak your foot like an arm, like that, like bring it up, a little curl. Because I know for me with kick flips, the last trick that the last thing I learned was getting my back foot to come up higher.
Yeah.
Just like stop it too soon. Not that that was a good kick flip, but I'll try a decent heel flip. Try to bring my foot up. I'll throw a little curl on it. I don't think I've ever done the curly.
What do you mean curl?
The Neen Williams.
Oh, the.
Let's learn the knee. This is how to beat Neen Williams 101. Step 1, Whole Foods. Step 2, heel flip. My foot stayed so flat. That's weird. It's kind of a weird thing to think about, but I feel like it should help.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, no. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I just kind of dipped my toe in like it was cold water. How do you? Okay, let me do it. I don't really do tweaky back foot kick flips either. Let me do one of those first. Gonna do a mom heel flip, and then just tweak my back foot in for no reason.
Oh, that one was, yeah.
But it was mom, right?
It wasn't that mobbed. It kind of looked flat.
How bad is that?
Eh.
Okay. Combining the dangle front foot with the Neen Williams back foot,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden you got yourself a Brandon Westgate kickflip heel flip.
Oh, are you okay?
That hurts so bad.
Dude, that sucks. I hate doing that.
Like this rubber right here, especially on these shoes, takes a while to like rub in.
It's a Michelin spec.
You can see where the flick is. It's on the outside right there. Yeah. A little bit right here too. It's just like,
I don't know how, yeah, it's like you pop it, then curl it.
I feel like a 36-year-old shouldn't be able to move their body like that. That's just a heel flip. Whatever. We're not doing it, okay? We're cutting our losses. Is there any other? Do you have any questions because you heel flip?
Yeah, my heel flips look like ours.
What is the issue with your heel flips?
I do a heel flip, and then there's about a foot of space between my feet and the board.
It's not. Let me see you do one. That was the most donkey. Okay, same thing. Really focus on the pop though. Make that tail snap. Yeah, so you're just jumping high like you're trying to pop high, but you're kicking the board down away from your feet. So flick like through the board, not down. You're flicking too down. Oh. Yeah, your switch heels are good. You did the right thing. And I think switch heels kind of naturally work good because off your switch foot, the pop is always more sturdy. You're getting there. I don't know if you ever noticed that because it's your, like, you have more control over your front foot. Damn, there she is. All right. Okay, now I'm going to film just 3 different types of heel flips in slow-mo. So you can just kind of like look at them and break them down. Maybe you can notice stuff in these heel flips that I'm not saying, or something for you to think about visually when you try them based off of what you see in my heel flip. I'm not saying that I have the most perfect heel flip, but I am trying to just do it with just the raw blueprint, skin and bones of the trick, like as like simple as possible. Also front foot positioning, I'll say this. Obviously the further back, if you're a beginner, it's easier to get a higher snap with your foot further back. But I would say the sweetest spot for heel flips, because the further back you are, the more tendency you're gonna have to flick off too soon. I would go right about there. Like I would say a little bit below your front bolts, about that much below your front bolts. Some people are further up, that's fine too, but I think right here is a good sweet spot for learning them. Where I would say the further up you go, the more accurate your flick has to be. So probably the best heel flippers are more up here. Hanging your foot off, some people do. As you can see, I full foot it. Hanging your foot off might make it a little bit easier to just slide it straight up and then off diagonally instead of having to use this kind of arc technique that I use. So maybe this is a little bit easier. I know for switch heels, I definitely hang my foot off a little bit more, but it's personal preference. Your setup foot positioning is nowhere near as important as how you think about where your feet are gonna go. The starting point, you can make it easier on yourself by setting your feet in a position that's gonna leave out more room for error, but ultimately it's what's comfortable.